thing on? Funny. Hey, Wilka here. I am going to give us a energy update for this week, the week of March 8th to March 14th. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the planets are doing, what the energy is, and I'm going to pull a couple of cards as well. So first of all, we're in the depths of Pisces season, and Pisces season is all about the subconscious realms, the spiritual realms. It's the last of the zodiacs, so it's really godly, and it's very spiritual, and it's very watery. It's the third and the final of the water signs. So it's all about feeling, intuition, deep emotions. Pisces is quite sensitive. In fact, that it's so sensitive that Pisces really feels everything that's going on, not on just a personal level, but on a collective level. It talks a lot about the energetics. And, I really feel like Pisces energy is the dream time. It's that non-linear space that is forever creating and dreaming, and it's that visionary space where imagination creates something before it becomes material, which, I feel like that's the dream time. And this week we are in the depths of this energy. So we have a waning moon. The moon is on its way from full, where it was last week, and it's coming down smaller. So the energy is, we're going sort of deeper in, to this watery energy. Deeper into the subconscious, deeper into the unseen. And yeah, I feel like Pisces is, it's really asking us to just slow down and allow the energy of the dream and the vision to happen. So we might be feeling this energy this week, like we really want to, things aren't moving fast enough, we want to get more done, putting these expectations on ourselves. And Aries season is on its way. Aries season is that fire, it's that spark, it's that initiation, it's that fresh cycle, being the first of the zodiacs. So that time's coming, but as we're coming down and simmering into the new moon in Pisces, which will be this weekend, at the end of this week, we're going to get a chance to restart, not only just a kickstart with Pisces energy, but we're closing out the astrological calendar. We finish with Pisces, we reopen, we're rebirthing into Aries. So we're really closing down a chapter, and it's a real opportunity for us to go deep. So what else is happening here is we also have Venus. So Venus is the planet of relationships, of love, of beauty. Venus rules Libra, which is very, the zodiac about relations, relating to self, relating to others, and also relating to the world around us. And Venus is also rules Taurus, because it's all about beauty and what is physical and what is material, and how we can admire and appreciate that. So it's also, it's all about relations. And then we have Neptune sort of coming closer into Pisces, where the sun and the moon will be, to create the new moon at the end of the week. So Venus and Neptune, who is the ruler of Pisces. It is the planet of our dreams, the planet of the subconscious, the planet of the spiritual. It's very mystical, fantastical energy, and it's expansive. The dream is huge. I'm Sagittarius sun, and I really love this energy. It's like, I feel like Neptunian energy and Pisces energy, it's limitless, because you can fantasize and dream about anything. So we have these two planets, Venus and Neptune, coming down to sit with the sun and moon, so mother and father, action and emotion, focus and emotion, yin and yang, sitting in this dreamy space of Pisces, all amplifying each other. So I'm just going to start shuffling these and see what happens. So when we've got, for me, when I tune into Neptune and Venus, we're getting a real opportunity to have deeper relationships. It's a really good time to perhaps set boundaries with people that we want to go deeper with, and also create spaces, where we can say, hey, I'm really loving our connection. I want to deepen that, and I want to be more open and more vulnerable with you. It's also an opportunity to really notice what relationships are toxic. So, Pisces, the shadow of Pisces is also disassociative. It's also like I'm feeling too much, so I'm not going to feel it all. And substance abuse can really come up a lot in Pisces as well, because it's that like escapism to the dream, escapism to the subconscious or to the disembodied. Because it's such a dreamy energy, we can really get lost in like not being grounded, not being in our bodies, and alcohol and drug abuse can come into that, which for me gives me the word toxic. And when I think of Neptune and Venus, there could be some toxic relationships ending here. A really good opportunity to look at these ways of relating that aren't authentic or wholesome or loving for you or other people, and really just start to say no, not doing this anymore. I deserve better, right? You deserve better. Mars just moved into Gemini. Gemini being the sign of communication, clear, crisp communication, also like multitasking, very flirty energy, but also like focused on the finer details of things so that they can get more done. And then we've got Mars, who is the planet of passion. So I like to think of Mars, Mars is like the god of war. That can be quite a negative idea. I like to think of Mars as like, you wouldn't go to war for something that you don't care about. So what are we passionate about? And underneath that comes our passions, our sexual expression, sexual desires in general. And Mars has that initiatory energy and instinctual energy of like, I'm going to go for that. I'm going to ignite that flame. I'm going to ask for my desires. I'm going to show up. And then in Gemini, we're being like asked to communicate that clearly. And I think that this beautiful polarity with like Mars in Gemini and then Venus and Neptune with the moon and the sun in Pisces, there's a lot of relationship conversations happening. So Mars can really help us to have those communications and express, no, I need this, and this isn't working for me, and I want to love you deeper. And that's just something that I've been feeling into. But yeah, we're really being asked, this week, how do you feel? And I had this beautiful conversation. Cool. 3 of Swords. Yep. And the Magician. Cool. So yeah, I had a beautiful conversation with an old lover of mine, and we were speaking about this exactly, like that sometimes when we're relating to people, we put expectations and labels on what that relationship is, and that label, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, open relating, it has a perception behind it and expectations that just naturally come with that. But when we've got these labels and these expectations, which are very logical and very cognitive, we're coming out of love, because love is not cognitive. It is a feeling. And yeah, I'm just really feeling into like, what are we feeling? And that's what this week is definitely asking us, is what are we feeling? And working on the energetics of that. So some cards that came up, we've got the Three of Swords. So it's from my Druid deck, love it. So the Three of Swords is like, when I look at this particularly, I see the tree is like representing for our growth, so our journey here. And swords is all about this communication energy. It's very much that Gemini energy. And yeah, the Three of Swords it really speaks to heartache. It really speaks to old wounding, and the old wounding from past relationships that we bring forward into new situations, new relationships unconsciously. So that could definitely be a massive theme this week. So the thing I like about this picture, normally in tarot, you might see the heart being stabbed by three swords. And this is like really like being grounded in the heart. This heart is made of stone, you know, and it's at the roots and the base of this tree. So growing out of your heart. And I feel like these swords are really like at rest, you know, they're not fighting, they're not stabbing into the heart. And they've carved like three beautiful circles here of like, and the circle is, you know, like a cycle completing, a cycle opening. So a really good opportunity to sit with our hearts and where we've been hurt, let down, and tender, and what we believe and what stories we're holding on to. And we have a really opportunity just to feel them. This week's not for like taking action, you know, express how you feel if you feel called to, but you don't really have to do anything with that this week. It's all about just addressing the feelings with yourself. Maybe having those conversations, because the energy is really going to hold those conversations and help them be clear. Cool. And the Magician, that's really nice. The Magician, he's here like to remind us that we have everything that we need. He's got all of his tools with him. He's surrounded, you know, by ancient wisdom, ancestral wisdom. And he's really starting to realize, hey, I've got all the tools that I need to create the life that I want and to create the relationships that I want. That's what I'm really feeling into. So when I look at these two cards together, yeah, I really feel like, yeah, like there is some action coming, you know, and definitely towards the end of the week, we're culminating our feelings, we're getting in touch, and we're really being supported to, you know, threes are like really taking the first steps to communicate how I feel in my heart. And then the Magician is like just letting you know that you've got everything that you need. You aren't going to be hurt again because you gathered your own toolkit on how to cope. You've got people around you, you're supported by all of the elements, and you got this. Yeah, and also like we're also in the post shadow phase of a Mercury retrograde. So Mercury seemed to have slowed down in a retrograde, and that was also in Aquarius. So that's extra air energy, really full on. That's like our technology, our communication, electrical things fucking up, breaking, and you know, when that planet goes stationary, so the retrograde itself finishes, there's a post shadow phase of like a week or two where the planet, in this case Mercury, will go back over the placements and the degrees and the zodiacs that it retrograded on. So we're kind of reviewing, we're going back over what we learned in the Mercury retrograde of how to communicate and how to communicate within our communities, being, you know, happening in the sign of Aquarius. So, you know, we're really being asked to tune into our feelings, trust our intuition, and have gentle conversations of like, hey, like this is what I'm feeling.